Welcome to Home Gas Test Kitchen Season 2. I am your host, Chef Bradley, and today I will be preparing stewed conch along with a heart-healthy option of conch ceviche. Today we're going to be using 1 whole onion. Then we're going to be using 1 Scotch bonnet pepper. And also we have 6 seasoning peppers. As for the powder seasonings, we're going to use a little bit of seasoning salt and a little bit of salt and black pepper. And for the deliciousness of our gravy, we have coconut milk. And for the ingredient that makes it all possible, conch. Right here we have 2 pounded conch. You know, you normally buy conch that is whole, but this one is pounded. The reason being is because conch is a mussel, so therefore it will be a tough cut. So what we did was we pound it, and we're going to put it in the boiling water so that for 1, it doesn't take that long in the water. And for 2, we'll have a tender finish when we start to chew on this conch. Now, all I'm doing right here is just cutting it up into little cubes. It doesn't matter how or what shape or what size you cut it. It all depends on what you want, but I'm going to cut it a little smaller so that it has a less cooking time. The smaller you cut it, the less cooking time it will have. Some Caymanians, when they think of stewed conch, you can't give them no stewed conch with no small pieces of conch. They want to taste their conch. That's why today I'm not going to cut it too small. I'm just going to cut it small enough. Small enough that it can boil quick, but also big enough that you can taste it. Normally in kitchens, in professional kitchens, you'll see that they use white boards, white cutting boards that is, for meats, and blue cutting boards for vegetables, but because our conch is white, it won't show on the white board. That's why we're using the blue board today. Now that I have the conch all cut up, I'm going to put it in the boiling water for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we'll give it a nice check. If it is still tough, then we'll come back. We'll leave it another 5 minutes and check it again. Once you put it in the pot, just give it a nice quick stir to make sure that the conch doesn't stick together. Once you give it a stir, you're good to go. Now, one thing with conch, it loves to boil over onto your stove, so you want to manage the temperature that you have under it. Now I have a medium to low heat under it, but you can use high, but if you're using high, please be careful and watch your pot. If it starts to boil up, just take it off real fast. So now we're going to turn on our stove so that we could get a little oil in here and start to sweat our vegetables. Now I'm just going to add a little olive oil so that the vegetables doesn't stick to the bottom. Once the olive oil is in there, I like to season my oil. Reason being because that flavor goes back into the food. So just a little salt, a little pepper here, just like that, and a little seasoning salt. Just like that. What I do is I season in layers. Now that our pan is hot, we're going to go ahead and start adding in our seasonings. So you have some onions, just like that, and then our seasoning pepper, just like that. Once this is all in, I'm going to give this a nice stir. We're just going to pour this in, just like that. And once you pour this in, you want to put a little water in your coconut cans to get the excess coconut milk out. And then you want to finish pour that in there, just like that. And next, we're going to season salt and pepper here, just like that. We have our seasoning salt here, just like that. And we're going to allow that to cook down and incorporate. We're just going to give it a nice stir. For the sea pie, we're going to be using all-purpose flour. We're going to be using water, and we're also going to be using a little bit of salt and pepper. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mix our dry ingredients, which is the salt and black pepper and our flour, just like this. What we're going to do, we're going to make a little hole in the middle here. We're going to start to add our water. bit by bit. So just like that. And then you want to start incorporating the water. Just like that. I use one finger because this is not a lot. But if it was a lot, I would be like, get all my hands in there. So now you want to dredge again. A little more water. More stirring. Just like this. There we go. Nice. Alrighty. One little bit more water. Alright. Just like so. And now what we're going to do, we're going to start kneading it together to form a nice ball of dough. So now I'm going to leave a touch more water. Then we're just going to mix all of this up here. I'm just going to add one tad bit more water here. Sprinkle it on like this, put the rest back, and now mix this all together. And now we're gonna this, put the dough under, just like that, and allow this to rest, just like that. Now we're gonna allow that to rest. So now that our dough is nice and relaxed, as you can see, it is a lot softer now. You can actually stretch it and stuff. You can do whatever you want to do now. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take our rolling pin, get a little flour onto the rolling pin, and we're just going to start rolling out our seed pie, just like this. Now, how you know when that this dough is ready to cut is when you can almost see through it. That's my style of doing it. A lot of people don't do it this way, but this is my style of preference, my style of choice, and my choice of style, however you want to put it. Now we're gonna take the dough, gonna flip it, add a little more flour, and roll it, just like so. I'm gonna take it once again. I'm gonna flip it. Add some flour to it. Just like so. A little more flour. Just like so. And we're gonna roll it. The story behind the star. This is the same star that we took when we first competed in Barbados. Now, when we went to Barbados, we did stew conch as our signature dish because we had to do a signature dish to showcase our country. So, our signature dish of choice was stewed conch. So what we did was we took stars and we cut the seed pie just like this right here. And I know a lot of people are wondering why we cut the stars like this, but if I told you that we put 3 on each plate, I think it would make more sense. The reason why we cut the seed pie into stars is to represent all 3 of our islands at once. So we put 3 stars on each plate, and the judges commended our creativity. You just want to take it, push it down. Once it's pushed down, give it a little twist and lift. Now all you have to do after that is lift the dough, and you'll have your stars. Our conch is finished, so we're gonna now add it to our gravy. We're just gonna take our conch like so, put it in here, put it in here, put it in here. I don't know if you have noticed, but I have not thrown away the water from the conch. Reason being, I'm gonna add a little of this water to our gravy. This is what will give it a nice conch flavor. We don't want to add too much because we don't want it too conky. So now, what I'll do is I'll just take a little and I'll pour it in here, just like that, and that's it. I'm gonna give this a stir now, a nice stir. As you see, we have our stew conch on a slow simmer now. Now we're gonna turn up the heat and add in our sea pie. Now you can see how runny the gravy is in the stew conch. But don't worry, once the sea pie goes in, the flour from the sea pie will start to thicken up our gravy. So now we're gonna add in our sea pie. So we're gonna take them one by one. And we're just gonna place them in here, like that. Just like that. They're sinking down to the bottom because they're absorbing the gravy, which is making them very heavy. So therefore, they can't float anymore. As you can see, they absorb the gravy very fast inside of there. Now, before I add the rest, I just want to give this a nice stir. Look at that. Nice, lovely stew conch. You can see the nice stars in there. You can see the conch in there. Lovely. As you can see, we have a ring mold in our bowl. We just want to put the ring mold there and put our rice in. Now this rice is going to be an elevation for our stew conch. We just want to press this down so that when we take off the ring mold, it doesn't drop and fall to pieces. We want a nice circle in here. Alright, so now we're going to put the conch on. We have our nice stars in here. So we're going to use a piece of tissue on the bottom to act as a shield from the dripping while we add our conch. Just like that. Make sure that gets all up in there. Add one little bit more. Now this one you want to use a glove and take one star out. And once you take the star out, you want to bring it over and place the star on top. Let's go for it. Beautiful. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to put our potato salad just around the sides, around the side. So up in here.
And now a word from our sponsor.
So you want to cook like a professional? Well, you need to use the ingredients that the pros use. You see, when it comes to serving up mouth-watering dishes of delicacy, the real chefs know that what matters most is the fuel you use. That's why we choose home gas. Because the difference between home gas and the other guys is the same as comparing juice and drinks mix. Nothing comes close to the original. Call them today to arrange a delivery at 949-7474. That's 949-7474. And remember, if it ain't home gas, you ain't cooking with the right gas.
So this is the conch that we're going to be using for our conch ceviche today. Along with that, we have 3 different colored bell peppers, the red, the yellow, and the green. We have some avocado, some mango, some purple onion, some cilantro leaves, some scotch bonnet for a little heat, a little seasoning pepper for some additional flavor, and we also have some lemon for the acidity. Next, we're going to start with our bell peppers here. So we have the green, we have the yellow, and we also have the red. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take out this white in here because that is very, very bitter. So we're just going to take it out and we're going to flatten our bell pepper as much as possible. So we're going to flatten our knife and we're just going to go across just like that. You want to get our bell pepper as thin as possible, reason being for plating purposes. Just like that. Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to do the same to this one, to the red. So cut the top off. Then you want to flatten it some. Then you want to start again, just like that. Then you want to do it one more time, just like that. There we have our bell pepper. Now for the yellow one, I'm going to do the same thing. Take the top off. Then we're going to cut just like this. I'm going to flatten a little, just like that. So that's the bell pepper. Alright, now we're going to do it to our red one. I'm going to start on an angle. Just give it a nice pretty julienne. Add that to that. We're going to do it with our yellow. The reason why I cut this side off is because it's not straight. We just want to make sure we start straight. Send this over here, just like that. So that's the first. That's our bell pepper. So we're going to put it in here with our conch. So next we're going to move on to our mango. So you're going to take the mango, going to make a flat surface so that we can stand it up. And then we're going to take this here, we're going to cut the side off, like that. We're going to cut this side off, like that. And that's all. So with the mango, now what we're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to slice it like this. And then we're just going to cube it and add it to our ceviche. So now that we have the mango like this, then we just go down in little strips. Size doesn't matter. And then after we turn it, And we go down again. When you're working with mango and you're cutting mango, please be very careful because mango is slippery. And if you slip, you might miss a finger later on. Now we have our next half. I'm just gonna cut it like that and do the same thing once again. So down, turn, down again, set to the side, down, turn, down again, set to the side. Now that's our mango right here. Now we're gonna add it to our ceviche. Nice little mix. Oh, this looks good. Up next we have our avocado. So with the avocado, we're just gonna slice it like this. Avocado is very delicate, so you want to be careful how we are treating the avocado. And we just want to turn it and give it some nice little cuts. Same thing, we just cut it up. And then we add this to our ceviche, just like that. And that's all we're gonna use for today. Right here, a nice purple onion. So with the onion now, you wanna get this as fine as possible so that this doesn't overpower anything because the onion is very strong. So now, I'm gonna take and give it 2 incisions here, 1 here. Try to keep it together on 1 here. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. Now we just take our time and go as fine as we can. We're not gonna use a lot of onion. That's all the onion that we need right there. So we're gonna put this one back. And then we're gonna add this onion to our ceviche. Alright, so with the cilantro, you wanna be very delicate. You just wanna roll it up like this. The reason why you want to be delicate is so that you don't bruise the herb. And you should only cut herbs once. So we're just going to roll it up. And we're just going to give it a nice slice. Alright, we're gonna add this to our ceviche here, just like that. So this is our Scotch bonnet pepper, so we just want to cut a little piece off of this and give it a nice little cut here, fine dice. And make sure this is as fine as you can get it. Alright, add this to our ceviche here. Alright, next is our seasoning pepper. We're gonna take 1/2 and then we're gonna chop it up here. And also get this as fine as you can. So we're gonna take this and just give it a nice rough chop. Alright, now we're gonna add this to our ceviche here, just like this. Before plating, we just want to add a little salt and a little pepper to our ceviche, like that. Then we'll add some lemon juice, that is. We're gonna give this a nice little mix. Thanks for tuning in to the Home Gas Test Kitchen Season 2. Now you know how to make stewed conch and conch ceviche. I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors, the YSU, Home Gas, and the Ritz-Carlton. This is Chef Bradley letting you know that one good deed goes a long way.